Hi, welcome back. We are going to talk about virtual hierarchies now. Amazing feature inside of planning analytics. Think of a virtual hierarchy as the ability to add dimensions on the fly without having to rebuild your cube or spend a lot of time doing that sort of work. Let's say you have, and my example is going to be based on product, but it could be anything. And let's say that, your boss comes to you or whomever and says, hey, we're not tracking our products by manufacturing facility inside of TM1. And maybe that data is out there in a SQL database or wherever, but we're not tracking it. And as you know, you would have to create that dimension, so manufacturing warehouse dimension, create that, rebuild the cube, reload all the data, so on and so forth. But maybe you know that, hey, I know that these products are made in these specific warehouses, and we could create a virtual hierarchy on the fly without having to do any of that work really, really quick. And I'm going to show you how now. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the product dimension, and you'll see that when I grab a dimension and bring it into PAW, it's going to give me the dimension editor, basically. And you'll see that this all the products have come in. I can turn and change this to the name so I can have a better visibility into what I'm doing. And I'm going to go ahead and click the attributes button, and you'll see that there are a lot of different attributes set up for these phones, for these products. So I know I want to add in a manufacturing warehouse or location and populate that. So I can quickly create a new attribute, and we'll call that MFG location. Hit create. You'll see that it's now been created. This is nothing new, right, in TM1. I can go ahead and now populate this, so I could type in and say this one is made in, let's say, Michigan. This one is made in Indiana. This one is made in Ohio. This one is made maybe in Michigan as well. Now we're going to get down to the 4G smartphones. Maybe these are made in California, and so on and so forth. I could also populate this with an Excel file, but since I don't have one, I'm just going to type them in, and then we'll say this is in Canada. Next, so all fine and dandy, we've got that information, but next I'm going to go ahead and right click on this and say create hierarchy. And so it's going to create this hierarchy from an attribute. And if I go back over to that dimension what we were looking at, which was called product, you will see that this has now been created as a hierarchy inside of the dimension that I can now use in my analysis. So if I go back to this example when we were inputting data, and I go to the product dimension and I right click and say add related hierarchy, I can bring in manufacturing location, and now you will see that all of that information I put in, I am now able to report off of and could budget to that level, right? So very, very quick, I can expand Michigan, and now I know that here's my Michigan sales. And then I could do analysis on that, create visualizations, so on and so forth. So think about it as you're watching this about how you could use this in your organization. Is there data that you don't have in the cube, or that's kind of offline, or that you don't really want to spend the time, effort, money to rebuild some of these cubes? You could check out virtual hierarchies and start analysis really, really fast. Thanks. Talk to you soon.